Hello everyone, my name is Inez and I am the Curious Artist. I am welcoming you to my very first video of my channel, and I'd like to first begin by saying I have attempted to post this video maybe 3 times prior, but I'm really terrible at editing, which is something I am going to learn and get much better at. But I wanted to commence in the month of July, and to be honest, today is July 31st. I have attempted to do this before July 1st. And I wanted to do this because it is the World Watercolor Month. And I did every prompt. I wanted to participate and post my videos during the month of July. But my excuse, if you want to call it an excuse, is that I just really wasn't all that great at recording and editing. So I'm going to do a much shorter video to get started and launch my channel, and I won't be doing painting today. I'm just going to share with you my prompts, what they look like, how they came out, and from now on, yes, I will be painting. I'll be doing some watercolor, I'll be doing some acrylic. Eventually, from time to time, I am going to do some miniature paintings, which I truly enjoy doing. And we're going to talk about my things. We're going to talk about us. I hope this to be a conversational channel. I'm an amateur painter, not a professional, but I don't consider myself a beginner because I've actually been doing it for decades. And I've just truly enjoyed it. I've just never made it public. I've never tried to sell my products until here recently. And I want this to be for everyone, for beginners, for amateurs, for professionals if they enjoy watching my quirkiness, and also for children if they want to watch as well. If there are any children out there, just let me know if you want to see something, and maybe we'll get into some childlike paintings or drawings and things like that. I have grandchildren, so I know that they would enjoy it as well. So let's get started. I'd like to share what I have done for the month of July, and we'll talk a little bit more about things. How about that? So please just give me a second to sit back up and I'll be right back. All right, everyone, I am back. I'm ready. Let's get this started. So, like I said, I've tried to record this video prior to the month of July because I wanted to be full on for the World Watercolor Month and for July, and do every prompt. I did do every prompt, but I didn't get to record any of the videos of me painting any of the prompts, but I would like to share them with you. I did not post any of them online. I will put them on my Facebook account for the Curious Artist. And let's get started. Okay, so for July 1st, here we are. It's the word pattern, and I thought this was pretty cool. Okay, I really thought this was cool. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit. There we go. I think that's good. Perfect. So the word pattern, I really enjoyed this one. That was fun to do. Actually, all of them were some of them were a bit harder for me to figure out than others. Some came very easily, naturally. This one really wasn't, because I didn't want to do like a tiger or some stripes or whatever. You know, I wanted to do something. Okay, well, that looks nice. And then here we go. The word rush, the prompt rush. I did have a hard time with this one because I was thinking rushing water, being a rush, being in traffic. But I looked it up online, and there is a plant called rush. The bulbous rush, scientific name is Juncus Girardi or Girardi. but there are different types of these. This was the easiest one. I didn't want to get too complicated because I was starting to stress out on day 2. So I knew that this was not supposed to be a stressful thing, and I went ahead and I went with it. Day 3 is the word turn, and I thought of the turn of the leaves, you know, in the fall. I didn't do a very good job at this one. I think the size of it kind of threw me off. I like doing landscapes, but I'm much better at a larger scale, and either acrylic or watercolor. We'll see a little bit more of that in my channel in the future. This is for July 3rd. This July 4th, the word is signal. So I said, what's better than a smoke signal? You know, I don't understand smoke signals, but this is a little bit of a representation for me. Okay. Day 5 is patch. From the moment I heard the word patch, I knew I had to do like a pumpkin patch, a strawberry patch, a cabbage patch or something. And pumpkins seem appropriate for me. I didn't want to do like an eye patch or a clothing patch or anything like that. So I love to see other people's ideas when they come to doing these things, but I really enjoyed it. The word rust was actually a pretty easy one. I enjoyed this one. It looks much better than the others. And as you can see, I used it for the bucket, a rusty bucket. That's for day 6. For day of July 7th was the word study. Now, I know that we can use these words however we please to do them, as long as they make sense. And this one for me was more so of the study of chasing the bead, or the bead in watercolor terms, where you use a bead of watercolor and to make a flat, even wash, and I tried different colors. And this one, and as you can see, the colors seem to be pretty even. There's no hard marks in it, and I really tried very hard to stay in the lines, you know, but watercolor is a little bit hard. But this is July 7th, okay? And we'll do this exercise at some point as well, because I really enjoyed it. It's very relaxing to do and practice. Feathers are not easy for me to draw. But I attempted. This is actually, I cheated a little bit, if you want to say so. This I did with regular watercolors on the top and the stem. And the rest of it, some of the lines and the feather, as you can see here, these are actually done with watercolor pencil. So I stayed within the watercolor, but they were done with pencil. And then I added water on top of the line, just so I can actually say that I used water in the feather for day 8 of July. Day 9th is trunk. There's many ways to go with that word as well, but for me, I don't know why. I like the way fallen trees and fallen trunks look. There's something about them. They offer, I know that means that they're no longer gonna be alive and producing leaves and stuff like that, and oxygen, but they do provide a sitting surface for people like me who, in the middle of a walk, or even if I'm fishing and there is one, I like to sit on it. Okay, and it still has living things inside of it, so it still provides home for some creatures. The word buried. Now this one I had a hard time until I said, you know what, what's better than a buried treasure? And I thought of like a kind of like a childish or cartoonist type of map, you know, and with the buried treasure. X marks the spot. Day 10. This one is actually one of my favorites. This is the word huddle, and I do not know how it happened, why it happened, but in my head I was picturing a bunch of little mushrooms cuddling up together, playing games in the forest. Yes, I'm weird like that. I have an imagination like that. And I think these were really cute, making the little tops of the mushrooms as if they were wearing little hats. That's for day 11. Day 12, which is my daughter's birthday, I didn't do it justice. This one is the word scratch, And for me, it was the technique of scratching for texture, which I really like to do in many other things that I do. I scratch for branches, or just to add texture in the foreground of a painting or something like that. It really works out. This was supposed to be like a landscape type of thing. It didn't work out the way I pictured it in my head, but I think I'm gonna give it a go on a larger scale at some point so you can see what I'm saying. We'll try that later. The word arch. And this one didn't stay completely just watercolor. This is a gel pen. I just kind of scratched a little bit so I could give some idea of water. But that's like a bridge or an arch of some sort where you go under in a canoe or gondola or something. That's day 13. This one is another one of my favorites, vitamin. And I made like the the fruits and the vegetables in forms of little peels, because most of it, when we think of vitamins, we think of medications, but we can get these vitamins and minerals and everything from our fruit, vegetables, from the sun, which is great. And I wrote down the names in Spanish because I am bilingual, and sometimes I just like to do it. Sometimes things come to me in Spanish, sometimes in English, and that's the way I do it. Like I said, that was day, oh, I skipped it, I did it backwards. This is day 15th. I was supposed to do 14th first, which the word is spiral. You know, and I love the way kites have that spiral on the ribbon at the bottom of a kite. That's really wonderful. Day 14. It's all watercolor except for a little bit of, this is gel pen, the white. And then, of course, like we already talked about this one, the 15th of July. This one I'm not really all that great at, but I used for fiber on day 16th of July, the prompt fiber. All I could think about is coconuts. Coconut fibers, you know how they have all those hairs on it and everything? I didn't do it justice, but I hope that people got the idea. This one is the 17th, which is my niece's birthday. Hi, Kelly. My niece, his birthday is on the 17th of July. The word is plant. And that one, you know, some little pretty flowers. Really be cute. I like these flowers. They're easy to make. We'll practice some flowers and stuff, and I will tell you where I learned them from, because I don't take credit for any of the stuff that I've learned. You know, thanks to the internet, I've been able to do a lot of things. I wasn't fortunate enough to go to art school, so thanks to the internet, I have learned a lot of things. It is not a substitute for going to art school. There's a lot of things that I am missing, the basics of what they teach you in school. But I think this works out for me. It's a great hobby for me to have. It relaxes me. It keeps my mind occupied. So this is the word record. And I don't know if it meant record or record. But for me, being a 70s child growing in the 80s, I thought this was appropriate, you know. I remember these LPs. This is a 33. The larger discs were 33s. The smaller ones were 45s. And we had a record player. Really beautiful one, too. That's for the 18th of July. For the 19th of July, well, I had a hard time for the word widen. And in my mind, the only thing that popped in my head, because I couldn't come up with anything else, maybe I should have said like open your mouth wide, or I don't know. I had like a screen widening type of icon I thought about. So I looked it up online, got it offline, and that's what I came up with. Not one of the best ones. This one is the word striped, and I thought beach balls have stripes. Clothing has stripes. Barber shops I don't know what it's called, a little candy cane type of looking like. Candy canes have stripes as well. But I like this one. I think this was fun to do. Let's see. This one is a word filter. And I honestly couldn't come up with anything, so I came across online color filters and how they interact with other colors, so I thought of doing that. And I mixed different colors, and you can see how this is blue, it makes green. You know, I kind of went out here so you can see what color, but it overtook the yellow, emerald green. It's right there. That's what it looks like outside the yellow. And this is cadmium red. I don't think it really represented exactly what I wanted to do, but you get the idea. That's for the 21st. This one was for the 20th. This one was for the 20th. This is the 21st. And then the 22nd, the word pool. So I'm thinking pool, pulley, water well. They have pulleys and they pull water out of the well with the bucket. Or they pull the bucket with the water out of the well. That's a mouthful. That's for the 22nd of July. The 23rd of July was a word title. And that's another one of the things I'm not good at doing is like ocean tides and the waves and things like that. But that's my attempt of the word tidal. Tidal. This is luminous, and I like the idea of a candle illuminating an area and casting shadow, as you can see here. This is for the 25th of July. Prompt is luminous. And of course, here, I don't know, I ruined it by doing this here. I try to put the color of the rings inside. The word is global. Of course, the 26th of July was the inauguration day for Paris, the Olympics in Paris. And I gave her bigger lips than what it is on the actual Olympic logo for Paris. But now I'll never forget what color the rings are, which I never really paid attention to. It's July 26th, global. For July 27th, we got obstacle. And the only thing I could think about is either orange cones or hurdles in track and field competition. And for me, you know, if you have a big old rock in the middle of a road, that's one of the biggest obstacles you're going to find. You also are your own obstacles sometime. So that's July 27th. July 28th, July, why do I have the 24th over here? I guess I didn't really do that well. This is July 24th. It's effervescent. I pronounce my V's and my B's very similar. Okay, that's my bilingual, because I'm bilingual. I do that a lot. This is effervescent, and I use gouache in this one, and I just put a little bunch of dots on it to represent some kind of bubble. This is like a grape soda, something like that. And that's what I decided to do, bubbly soda. That's for the 24th. And the 27th, we already done that one. The 28th is sweet. So this could be gum, it could be candy. Self-explaining, you know, for sweet. 29th is the word serenity. One of the things that bring me serenity, peace, and calm is fishing. I truly enjoy fishing with my significant other or by myself, but most of the time with my significant other. It's a lot of fun. It's calming, and believe me, for the type of person that I am and the way my brain works and everything, fishing is one of the best things I can do for my brain to shut down a little bit, as well as painting and coloring and drawing and all of these things. Okay, and the word for the 30th is deck. I thought I have several pictures that I've taken off of a deck at a cabin or at a cottage that I've been to a few times. Uh, but it's harder to paint because of the background on it. And to me, it just didn't make sense. This was more fun to do, and it was actually pretty easy. I only used 2 colors in this one, and it's a deck of cards, as you can see, for July 30th. For July 31st, that one I had a hard time. I actually have several seashells from a trip that I went to in Florida, and but I couldn't really get it right. I had several attempts because I'm not perfect. First of all, I'm not perfect at any of this stuff, and I just couldn't get it to look right. Maybe that's another thing I need to learn how to do, and I will work on that as well. And there we go. That's what I decided to do for shell for July 31st. A little turtle shell is more cartoony. Is nothing. It doesn't look anything realistic. You can tell it almost looks like a child did it. In a way, I am kind of a child. But that's it. Those are all the prompts. Those are all the prompts for the month of July. I hope next year I'm on top of my game. I'm better at recording. I'm better at editing. I hope to have better equipment. and it's gonna be absolutely awesome. But this is for July 2024, World Watercolor Month, which is a really cool event. The way that you participate on it is that you do the prompts, you do a hashtag World Watercolor Month and the prompt, and you put it on social media. I didn't do any of those things. I'm not really all that great at it, so I'm probably just going to post a video on my the Curious Artist my Curious Artist Facebook, and I'm probably just gonna do a shorter video of what they are. Well, thank you for being here. I hope to see you guys soon. Next video, I hope to have it out sometime next week or the week after. And I am going to attempt to do a landscape video of a wonderful place that my significant other and I go to, that we like to go to camping. It's called Land Between the Lakes. And hopefully you'll join me for that video and you'll watch it. I would like to ask you to please give it a thumbs up. And if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed it, subscribe to it and share it. That would be awesome as well. I shamelessly ask you to do this. My first video, so I would like for it to grow. And if you'd like to support me, please do. I'll see you again next time. Have a wonderful day and thank you for being here. Bye-bye.